Hello everyone, welcome to the MisterFrisco podcast where real talk meets real estate, the local vibes and the people shaping Frisco's future. Today on the podcast, we will cover the latest market stats, break down trends and explore what it all means for you. I will share timely tips for buyers and sellers, including spring declutter, essential home maintenance, and how to get your home summer ready. My guest today is Sanjay Kalluvilayil with Stonehaas Advisors. It's an AI podcast. And today I will talk about as well to National Soccer Hall of Fame in Frisco.
Meet MisterFrisco, a realtor selling residential real estate in Frisco and far North Dallas. As a former professional athlete, track and field, and strength and conditioning coach, MisterFrisco immigrated to the USA 20 years ago with $50 in his pocket, a suitcase, and zero English to pursue the American dream and build a successful real estate business. Hardworking, persistent, customer service, and detail-oriented, MisterFrisco strives to secure a smooth closing on his client's biggest investment, their home. He puts his experience and knowledge to serve his clients the best way possible. Building his business by referral allows him to maintain relationships with his clients and serve them even after the transaction is closed. This is Frisco Realty News with MisterFrisco.
So, Frisco's housing market stayed hot in March. The median existing home price hit $604,000, up 2.4% year over year and 10% jump from February. Inventory climbed too, with 590 homes on the market, 71% higher than last year and up 28% from February. And we saw 165 homes sold, a 7.1% year over year increase in nearly 35% more than February. The median days on the market rose to 30 days, more than the last year, but homes sold 17 days faster than just a month ago. The pending sales hit 177, slightly down from last year, but up 21% from February, signaling momentum is building. And with 3.6 months of supply, we are still in a seller's market, but with more options for buyers and a signs of a strong spring season ahead. For today's buyer-sellers tip, I will share timely tips for buyers and sellers, including spring decluttering, essential home maintenance, and how to get your home summer ready. Spring is a perfect time to give your home a refresh. Start by power washing the exterior, cleaning windows and screens, and checking for foundation cracks. Service your AC before Texas heat hits and test your sprinkler system. Clean out the garage, replace air filters, and inspect your roof for winter wear. Don't forget to touch up exterior paint and check for pest activities. A well-maintained home attracts serious buyers. So thinking about selling or buying in Frisco, call me today, your local real estate expert, so I can get your home market ready or find your dream home this spring. So it's time now for my guest, Sanjay Kalluvilayil with Stonehaas Advisors podcast. Hi Sanjay, how are you?
Great, how are you doing today?
Yeah, great. Good to have you on my podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, AI, man. It's so popular lately, AI. Everybody talks about AI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Most of the people use it, but they have no idea what AI is, what's behind it, how it's generated. And all these things we're going to try to cover here in the podcast. I know that you have a podcast. That's the first thing I introduced you, but do consulting actually as major business. So you're consulting in AI technology, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How did you get in this business? What's actually your background?
Right. So I have 30 plus years in management consulting. So I've worked for different companies like Ernst & Young Management Consulting, Fortune 500, consulting to Fortune 500 companies. Worked for a company called Ericsson, which is a global 500 company. When they're launching 2G, 3G, 4G networks, it was around technology, but how do you grow a market? How do you grow revenues? What's a business case around that? So I've done work in terms of business process transformation, taking technology implementations down from 6 months to 30 days, strategy, go-to-market execution, value creation, business case, etc. And then in the past year, I decided I wanted to build my own consulting business, right? And I'd already, and we'll talk about it later, I've niched down to more the AI space to build out in. So what I offer is I'm working with AI founders and businesses to help them grow and scale their business. I also provide something called fractional CXO services or fractional executive services. So instead of paying several $100,000 for a chief operating officer, a chief strategy officer, et cetera, you can pay on a fractional basis and save money, basically. And now my focus is working on building out in the AI space.
All right. Okay, AI, it's everywhere. Okay, you open Facebook and you see, videos generated by AI, incredible stuff. What actually stays behind AI? How is it generated? All right, that's people don't understand that.
Right. Yeah, let's take a step back. Let's explain what AI is, so artificial intelligence. So the way AI started was they were looking at can they make computers think, reason, analyze information like a human to make decisions, right? So to get to artificial intelligence, what they've done is trained computers on massive amounts of data to be able, and what the computer does is go and recognizes patterns, and it can do it much faster than a human can, right? But it takes a lot of data to be able to do that. And they're able to recognize patterns in text. And sometimes even on images now, what they do is, imagine you get an image, it starts looking at the corners, the edges, the hues to find patterns and recognize that. And so based on those patterns, they can start making predictions on what something can be or in terms of what the output can look like. And that's the intent. So there's a guy named Jeffrey Hinton, who's the father of AI, who's godfather of AI. He tried to mimic computers to mimic the human brain. So the human brain has billions of neurons, right? So what they've done with computers is they add neurons or artificial neurons and deeper layers to be able to process information. And that's how you made some of the breakthroughs in AI. There's a lot of hype and noise around AI, but what I try to do is make sure to separate fact from fiction and what reality from distortion, right?
Okay, that's different to separate. Okay, how you separate it? Where is the fiction? Where is the reality?
No, especially right now, you hear, I'm doing certification in AIs, et cetera, and they say, okay, developers are going to be fired. You're not going to be able to code anymore. I've used some of these no-code tools, and I'm not a coder background, and you think, oh, there's no easy button on it. I actually went through a code thing and said, create this basic website. It did it. It did it for me, a basic app. But then I asked it to do some modifications, and then that's where it got a little kludgy in terms of, then it reran the whole code, and then errors came. And then I tried to troubleshoot it. Instead of going through one line to troubleshoot like a coder would, it would rewrite the stuff and cause more problems. Then finally I told it, take a step back in terms of prompting. So there's something called prompt engineering. You have to give it instructions. Act as an expert coder. Go back, analyze your information, debug it, clean it, and then produce the output. And then it worked. So you have to, most of the AI now, I would say, it's like a 5th, 6th grade level. Maybe some are getting to high school level. But it's not something that's going to take over the world right away. And I think people got to understand. The other thing, too, is people say AI is going to take everyone's jobs. Maybe some of the basic automation jobs, but I think it's going to be a co-pilot, that the people who know how to use AI are going to accelerate. Kind of like, you're in real estate, there's tools that you use that make you a better real estate person than, say, somebody that doesn't use tools, right? Yes. And that's how I would approach that.
Yeah. One thing, actually, I would like to ask, you said it make you better professional, okay? Let's say my real estate or everything. Do you believe it apparently covers the very broad part of the business? I would say each part of our life and business now. How do you see implementation of AI to improve, let's say, the real estate business? I don't know how much you know, but I'm a realtor.
Yeah. Well, I've done a real estate flip before, so I have some experience.
So you are familiar with that. Just tell the audience, how can a realtor eventually use AI to improve their business?
Right. So in the sense, whether you're a realtor, or in that sense, you're almost a solopreneur, or you have a broader set of folks, right? The question is, do you want to really go out and hire 10 or 20 people? That's not cost effective, right? And so, in any sort of a real estate, you're doing lead generation, right? And are you sending out letters and the text that you're doing and all that stuff? So you can use AI like the large language models. These are the ones that went out and was trained on the internet and Wikipedia and all the stuff. ChatGPT, that type of stuff. And you can ask it. I've asked it recently, assess my text, what I've done, based on professionalism, how concise it is, and virality. Will it hook somebody in? And actually scores it for me and will give me some optimization. It's not perfect, but I start optimizing my messages. So you can use it, and some people are using it in lead generation in terms of automations around lead generation. So I would say the basic is go use ChatGPT just for, assess some of your information. Then you'll be able to maybe use it as a brainstorming tool. Next level is probably lead generation. And then next is like, now you get the leads in, right? Now you got to put in an Excel spreadsheet, you got to put it into your CRM, all this stuff. Then the next level of AI would be automate all that sequence and figure out how to do that, right? And then next you have a real estate website, right? So you've automated some of these things. You can build a chat bot where that goes out and people can ask for information. Hey, I saw this house is on the market, right? What's the price? Or they can book a scheduling to come see that, right? So there's different variation. I think that's where probably the low-hanging fruit of where to get started, right? And then also if you want to assess contractors, how contractors are. Some people show up that you pay them half the money and they disappear, right? It's probably good to do your due diligence on contractors. So maybe go out to like something like a Perplexity and check out ask it to assess their websites, assess the reviews. Do they show up on time? Do they actually do good quality work? That's some low-hanging fruit right there.
That's amazing. Okay, I heard that a lot of companies they use AI to improve the SEO on websites, social media. How far that would go, and how precise they are in this?
Yeah, I'm doing this too. So I have my own consulting business. Well, like I said, I have an AI podcast, and it's only been out a couple of months. It's been doing well, but it's not SEO optimized. And lately I've realized, hey, some of the reels got like 10 views, whatever, and some got like 1,000. And I realized, okay, maybe the ones that I did like iterations on the title got better views. So I downloaded one tool recently. It was so amazing that it went out to I put my URL in. It took my whole video, 1 hour session. It cut it into clips for me automatically, and it scored it on virality and the titles and said what's wrong with certain things. It's not perfect, but I actually tested it out, and I launched. We had one that launched, and that was probably like maybe 20 something views. I tried that app. I launched the same day a different video, and it said it scored. It got like 500 views. So like more than 10x, 20x results.
Just to twist the title and the title,
post. the description, the hashtags. Because these tools are integrated with something like Google Analytics. And so when you go out, there's something like based on when you're on all these platforms, Meta, Google, about SEO, virality. Is it going to be catchy? And somebody who's going to actually watch a video or even share it. So these tools kind of already have some of that information.
Okay. So do you focus more on startups, or you already have clients that have already built business?
Yeah.
What's your focus?
Yeah. So, but previously I worked with some smaller companies and Fortune 500 companies when I was in a corporate environment. Now that I'm building out my company, I'm working with most companies that are $1 million to $100 million. So one of the founders I'm working with, he scaled to $1 million on his own, built up to that. Good problem to have. But he realized he's in the business. He's not running the business. He can't go beyond that. And so I'm working with him. We took a step back, worked on his strategy mindset. We actually prioritized his top tier customers, not chase. And what we did was we also focused on something called niche market mastery. They said I say niche, but they say the niches are in the riches. So you focus on one segment, find out what your ideal customer profile is, who's a buyer persona, what the buyer persona is, what their buying behaviors, then create an offer that resonates to that group, right? And it has to be irresistible. And people are not buying consulting, they're not buying tools, they're buying results, right? Like when someone buys a home from you, they're not buying a realtor, they want somebody that's going to get them the home of their dreams or within a budget, right? They want specific results from you. So that has to be communicated to the end buyer. So we did his niche market. We built out his offer, his pitch, now his sales campaigns, and that's going through. And so it's pretty exciting. And that's the long pole in the tent of any business is, you can have great product, technology, all this stuff. But if you don't figure out, are you solving a real pain point for somebody that they're willing to pay for repeatedly, you won't be successful.
All right. Well, we are talking about business. Just wrap it up with something that AI in personal life. I've heard that there are people that feel lonely and they just start chatting with the bot. Is that possible? I haven't tried it because I'm never lonely. But
I haven't tried it. I have a wife too. So, but actually, for my podcast, there was a company that reached out to me to be an affiliate. So you won't believe this. It was AI chatbot, and it was there's a term called NSFW, not safe for work. So when you create images on AI, you put that term in so it doesn't create like sexualized type stuff, right? So you can have an AI girlfriend. I rejected that offer because I'm in a professional website and like I'm not going to be affiliated for that, right? But there are things like that, and there are some concerns. I think in the past year, someone had developed a relationship with these chatbots, and a young person committed suicide. So I think there are dangers around that. People are lonely as we're getting more connected on the internet and the web. We're becoming more disconnected as people, right? So I think for this opportunity to come here and speak to you face to face, which is rare.
Wow. Okay. Well, people just beware from the chatbots. Huh? Don't develop a romantic relationship with them. It could end bad. Huh?
Well, and the other thing too is there are a lot of scams coming out right now. I mean, I just got a call from Bank of America saying somebody created a credit card in my name, $7,500 credit limit. They're going to transfer me to the consumer protection group. But I figured out something was wrong, so I hung up the phone and called Bank of America. It wasn't them. And this was not even AI. Wow. So imagine with AI what's going to be happening. So everyone just be very careful, be very cautious. If your bank or credit card calls you, it's okay to hang up and call them back and make sure it's them,
Well, that's good. We covered that point. Yeah. All right. Well, if anybody would like to reach out to you, companies that would need a consulting or something, how they can reach out?
Yeah. Once my name is Sanjay Kalluvilayil, but that's a hard name. So my company, Stonehaas Advisors, I'm on LinkedIn. I have the AI Space podcast and a lot of different ways to get a hold of me. But yeah, I think those are the main ways.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Sanjay. That was very interesting topics. All right. So thank you very much, and I will see you around.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Enjoyed it.
All right. Okay, today I will talk about the National Soccer Hall of Fame, which is located at the south end of Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, celebrates the rich history and the legacy of soccer in the United States. Established in 1950, it honors the achievements of players, coaches, referees, and other contributors who have significantly impacted the sport in America. The Hall of Fame features interactive exhibits, iconic memorabilia, and serves as the venue for annual induction ceremonies. Visitors can explore the evolution of soccer in the United States, learn about legendary figures, and engage with state-of-the-art displays that bring the game's history to life. The facility offers a unique experience by combining traditional exhibits with modern technology, providing an engaging and educational visit for fans of all ages. As a public-private partnership among FC Dallas, the City of Frisco, Frisco Independent School District, and the U.S. Soccer Federation, the Hall of Fame stands as a testament to the collaborative efforts to promote and preserve the sports heritage in the United States. Thank you for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to my podcast or more insights on Frisco's best sports events and the housing market. Until next time.